welcome to Real Economy. In this episode, we are looking at what Europe is doing to boost job seekers' chances post-COVID-19. It's feared that unemployment could double next year in Europe with the young and seasonal workers, especially in the firing line. We'll be talking to some later in the program. We'll be also speaking to Nicolas Schmit, Commissioner for Jobs, to ask what Europe is doing to protect workers. But first, a look at one initiative that attempts to help job hunters find work anywhere in the bloc. It's called Europass. Here's a quick guide. Europass links up European job seekers and employers across the EU. Its new and improved version was released in July. The new Europass aims at simplifying and modernizing the Europass CV and other skills tools for the digital age. This means that users will be able to create a personal profile on this platform to describe their skills, learning and working experience. Then they will be able to store relevant documents in their personal library and also to keep track of their learning and job applications. They can also share a link to their e-profile with employers, recruiters and employment services for advice and support on their careers. And they can access information on learning and working in Europe. Most Europass users are in Italy, Portugal, Romania and Spain. The International Labour Organization has warned about the serious impact the pandemic could have on the so-called lockdown generation. Earlier, we met up with some people to check if they'd benefited from many measures taken at EU level and to ask if they felt more could be done.
To adapt to the impact of digital technology on the job market, the European Union has just released a new version of Europass, a tool that allows Europeans to present their skills and qualifications to find a job throughout Europe. I met with apprentices and young graduates in eastern France to ask them what they think can help them find work. This cooperative offers training in green spaces. Here, some have been using Europass tools for several years to gain more skills and to create detailed CVs, which can be used all over Europe. Sami, an apprentice landscaper gardener, feels reassured by this system.
The Europass CV, I think, will help me find a job more easily, especially in Germany, because there's more demand there. On the CV, the employer will be able to see immediately the skills I've gained on the job.
According to the Employment Office, mobility allows job seekers to access more offers. It is also something sought after by recruiters. Due to the lockdown, Hugo, a chemical engineering student, couldn't do his internship in Germany. He turned to permaculture in his region. This taught him valuable skills that he thinks makes him stand out.
Here I can develop transversal skills which are always appreciated, like teamwork and problem solving. Mobility is very important and it's something that we absolutely have to highlight on our CVs because it makes a big difference. All engineers speak English, so you have to know another language, otherwise it's really hard to find work.
According to the International Labour Organization, 1 in 6 young Europeans have lost their jobs since the start of the pandemic. Newcomers in the job market are directly affected by the hiring freeze. In Metz, I met a young German girl who wanted to work abroad, and she just got a job in human resources in France.
It's been difficult to find a job during the COVID-19 pandemic, and I was really lucky to have found my job. It worked because my employer told me, after I was hired, that the CV was very well done. They appreciated that it highlighted my skills.
Here, as in all of Europe, Europass users will be able to directly search for training or a job on the new platform. The quality of these offers remains to be seen.
So joining me here in Brussels is the Commissioner for Employment and Social Rights, Nicolas Schmit. So, Commissioner, thank you very much for being with us. And we have a completely new platform, a new Europass CV. What is the new elements there?
Well, it's a new portal. It's very digital. It's much broader. It's quite easy to handle. We are now living, and the crisis has also confirmed that the digital is everywhere. And therefore, I think that looking for a job, trying to connect with the possibility to get training courses wherever in Europe, because we are promoting free movement of people in Europe. And there are a lot of opportunities which may not be in my home country, but somewhere else. Well, people have to be able to connect with these opportunities, but also employers who are looking for people with certain skills, but also giving the possibility to have a training which they think could help them to better proceed in their career.
Apparently, the most affected groups, let's say, of the labor market are the youngest workers and the seasonal workers. Can we speak about like a lockdown generation compared to a lost generation of the previous crisis?
Yeah, I would say we have to prevent that. We have to do everything possible to not to have a lockdown generation, because there is a risk that the young will be the major victims of this very special and unique crisis. We see that more than half of those who have lost their jobs in Spain, for instance, are young people under 35. Even in Germany, the numbers of young which have registered as unemployed has now attained more than 200,050. So this is a big risk, and therefore we have to react rapidly.
Can you be more concrete about the measures? You mentioned the minimum wage. We know that there is a proposal already before the crisis. So is it the time to push member states to agree on that, to have something like at a European level?
At the end of September, beginning of October, the Commission will table its proposal. We cannot build a recovery on wage dumping, on in-work poverty, on people who very often have done the most difficult jobs during this crisis, and by denying them the right to have decent wages. So it's really timely to have this debate on wages in Europe, and specifically on minimum wages, but also on the right to have collective bargaining. I think collective bargaining has to be promoted and strengthened where it is weak.
Okay, Commissioner, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the transition to the new digital era begins from the tools available to get there, and the Europass wants to be one of them. That's all from us now. See you after summer on Euronews.